Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Teen Shallot, and today we're gonna be talking about what if Deku was a villain, the finale, part 2 of the series. You might be wondering, why is this series so short, a 3-parter? Look, when I did what if Issei was betrayed, someone said, why don't you just get everybody to kill him? And when I did what if Deku was a villain, you guys are like, I hope he kills everybody, you know, cause he needs to be able to do all that. He needs to kill them because he had all this time to kill them, right? So this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna be killing everybody off this episode. And you're like, what? Well, that's not what we meant. But look, you want me to kill someone off, you gotta realize this is what I'm gonna be doing. When I kill someone off, that part's gonna be pretty short or long, depending on how I want him to go through, or if I give him some flashback, some backstory. Alright? But enough of that, let's get started with the what if. From where we last left off, it has been 2 weeks since the attack on the UA festival for Deku. Deku has now activated the Ghost program. There are ex-army men, commandos around the world stationed across every country prepared to take out any female heroes that they see. They have been trained so well that they can take down any hero below top 10. If they need to take out top 10, they usually ask for Deku's assistance in the matter. Or not, depending on how strong the heroes really are. And so we ride down to the events where Deku's calling on the intercoms across the international channel, private channel internationally, where he says ghosts activated. Every sleeper cell has been activated for Deku, and now he is controlling the ghosts and telling them to take out every hero that they see. All children are spared, and bring money will be transferred to every family that has a hero that lost their life. Other than that, all heroes die. And so, that is what's happening. The heroes are now under attack across the world. Nobody knows what's happening. Everybody's thinking this could be the end of all of us. And they're right, it is. It could be. Because this is the time when Deku is finally taking his revenge. And so, he goes forward and he says, alright, it's now time to attack UA. UA has been taking a lot of flack for the festival, and now it's our turn to make it so that UA will never open, that no female heroes will ever be created, and that man will be the supremacy of everybody, will be the supremacist. And so, that's what Deku did. He went forward, and he activated his sacred gear. And he said, demonic overdrive. And he covered in the demonic armor, looking like Satan, the Lord is Satan himself. And then he went forward and he said, alright, all you cowards, all you cowardly student heroes, come out now and face your destiny. And out came the rest of UA student and staff. Deku did not even care. He saw all the female heroes left in Japan, right here at UA. And so what happened next is that his whole private man army came. He gave some people quirks. Iron Man came as well, and he started beating up every single female hero and killed almost all of them. And then came Deku. He was a monster. People were dying, ripped out, tongues, lungs pierced. People's crushed ribs, broken feet, everything. Teeth were on the ground, eyes on the ground as well. I'm not gonna make this too descriptive because I'll just get in trouble, but hey, that's the small details. We don't worry about those. And so Deku went forward, and then he saw his sister, and he's wondering, okay, it's time for me to bring her to justice for what she did all these years ago. And so, she goes forward and she says, come fight me, sister. Or whatever the hell you are. It's time for us to end this rivalry between us. And so, Deku's sister says, I don't know what you're talking about, but you are not my brother. My brother was a kind boy, not a monster like you. And then Deku got mad and he said, I don't care. And then he says, I, who am about to awaken, and the scourge across the heavens and hell itself. I am the ruler of all the undead. the killer of your soul, and I am now activate the Juggernaut Drive. And then Deku activates his Juggernaut Drive, and a huge humanoid Satan with the trident in his hand, the horns across his head, comes from the ground. He is 30 feet tall, gigantic, as tall as Devastator himself. And then he says, "Sister, you monster, I will kill you and reap your soul for the benefits and sell it across the market to every devil that ever existed." And so, Deku, with anger filling his heart, he took out his gigantic, big, long-ass sword, and then he said, "Reaper Death Style! Reap of the soul!" And then he got his whole sword, and then he reaped every female hero's soul was inside his sword now. He used his power. Then he punched the ground, and it leveled half of Japan with that attack. And then came his sister. She activated 100% of One for All. And then she started beating on his legs, but that did nothing. She could only make small marks, but he was like as if he was being bit by a mosquito, which annoyed him. So he went forward and he said, "Get off me." And then he punched her real hard, and she went through 50 buildings, and she landed across near the borders of Japan to the sea, and there she was just lying there. And then she entered her mindscape, and from her mindscape came someone named Goku. He said, "Is that really all I have? Is that really all you got?" And here I thought the sacred gear that you wield would be strong. Don't give up. Never give up. Always believe in what you think is right, because that is my way. That is your way. Are you a real hero? Then you should never give up. Now stand up, grit your teeth, and yell, "I am a Super Saiyan!" And then that's what she did. Deku's sister got up on her feet and she said, "I am the legendary Super Saiyan!" And then she roared in rage and anger, and then she transformed. She skipped Super Saiyan 1. She went Super Saiyan 3. And then she wondered, what is this? This power is amazing. And Deku can feel the power all the way from there. And he's wondering, what is that? And he sees the legendary sacred gear, Goku. He or she who wields it has the power to destroy this world 10 times over. And so, taking that into consideration, he activated his second draconic soul, Nova Shenron, rise from the grave of the ground, and then infused his power to Deku. Deku went short and short, then he turned into a 6 feet tall Satan with draconic wings, and then his body turned gold, and then he turned blue as well, and then he started getting ki, started building up in his hands, and he charged up a shower of the sons of hell, and then he yelled that out loud, and multiple hellish suns surrounded him, and he shot them towards Goku, or known as Izumi, his sister. While that was going on, everybody was witnessing this magnificent battle, and then Izumi charged up the iconic attack. She said, "Kamehameha." And then she said, "Ha! Times 100! Times 100 Kamehameha!" And then she shot him towards Deku, and his hellish sons were obliterated. And he was there holding the blast back, using all his power in his hands. He pushed it back, and everything exploded. Now I'm wondering, how is everybody not dead yet? You're wrong. Everybody's dead. It's only them. Iron Man died. He cannot survive. Every single Japanese man died. And Deku did not know how. Deku was enraged because of her. All his supporters died. His closest people he considered family died right then and there. And he decided, enough is enough. I haven't been using my full power. I've been holding back. Now I just need to dispel my good side. Then he went forward and he went inside his soul. And he saw the good side of his soul, telling him to stop. That that he should just stop. He always wanted to be a hero. Why is he not being one right now? And so, this was taken into consideration. Deku was wondering what changed in him. He always wanted to be a hero. It wasn't his parents or whatever they did. He wanted to be here even no matter what they said. So why did he become a villain? He searched his memories when he saw something happen when he got All For One's quirk. It seems that All For One's quirk, All For One transferred a bit of her consciousness, a bit of her soul inside her quirk. And that Deku was being influenced this whole time. And that he never actually wanted to be a villain. He tried sort of fight it subconsciously that it just happened. And so, Deku was faced with the grim truth that this whole time he never wanted to be a villain. He was just forced into the role. Deku could not believe what was happening right now. But he knew that something had to change. Something had to happen. And so he activated a pure white light shown from where Deku was. And from it came something that nobody would ever believe could happen. Came Deku in this angelic light of aura. And then came some words, and he said, I was wrong. Looks like being a villain isn't everything. Always wanted to be a hero. And then now I know how I can be a hero one more time. He got a sword, and he said, it's time for the age of heroes and villains to die. It's time for it to go back to where it was when quirks were never around. It's time for me to take every single person's quirk in the world. And people who are gonna get quirks. And then I will kill my sister, the last person who holds a quirk. And then I will kill myself. So that the thing known as quirks, the thing that brought this world to where it was, ends. But then inside something Deku, he saw someone laughing. And he said, who are you? I'm the Deku who laughed. I'm the one who did the jump, who tried to kill myself. I'm that Deku. Now get out of this body. That's not yours. Not this. My soul's evil. And then there's a war going inside Deku's body. Fighting, the good side was fighting the evil. And it was a battle of evil versus good. While he was fighting his sister. Many emotions were going across his face. Sadness, anger, hate, sorrow, happiness, joy, envy. Everything was going through his face. And battle. He loved the face of battle. He wanted to fight his sister for so long. And now he had the chance, but he wasn't taking it. Why was he not taking it? And then came his sister who said, come on, Deku, snap out of it. You may not be redeemed, but I believe you can be redeemed. You can do this. I believe in you. And when Deku heard those words, he knew that he actually had a chance to be redeemed, go back to his sister. But he knew that was just a fool's dream. And so he used all his power and he went forward and he said, sister, my plan is to kill all quirk users, to take everybody's quirks and then kill myself after. Just give me one for all, so I can end the scourge known as quirks before I lose the time that I have left. And then Izumi knew what was gonna happen. She knew she had to do this. So she plucked a hair from her head and she said, eat this. I trust you. I know you can be a perfect user of one for all. She said there was so much hope in her eyes that Deku flickered. His eyes told a different story. Eyes full of betrayal, sadness, and hate. But then they were replaced with sadness. Pure sadness and joy. Realizing that he could actually be redeemed. Izumi cried that day, knowing what was going to happen. And so, Deku took the quirk, ate it. ate it, got the quirk itself, and then he put down his hands forward, and he absorbed every single quirk in the world. He created a combination of all for one with one for all. And then he absorbed every single quirk that was possible. And then he said, well, looks like my time is up. His whole body was bursting with energy, but the only way he could die was if he killed himself with the sword that he wields. And so he went forward with the sword. And then he started stopping himself real hard. And then he did something that he never thought would happen. He went and he said, enough! And basically he broke his arm, took the sword with his left hand, and he said, I am gonna end myself, cause that is the fate of the Midoriyas. And so Deku went forward with the hardcore battle in his eyes. He went forward and he said, time to end it all. And then he shoved the sword through his chest. Then he started going further and further, where he cut himself in half. And then, with his final moments, his final thoughts were, thank you for bringing me back to the light. The scourge, known as Izuku Midoriya, has died. Nothing remained of him. The energy took everything out of him. Nova Shenron in the demonic overdrive died with him. Goku still remains in Izumi. She knows that one of these days, Deku will come back. And that when he does, when he's reincarnated, and he comes back, she will treat him right this time. Her friends all may be gone. Deku may have died. But she knew that he forever will be her brother. He may have been evil, yes, but at least he tried to stop that evil from spreading further than he ever could have imagined. And then she had one last thought. She heard one last word in her mouth. He heard Deku's voice, and Deku said, I'm sorry. I was a villain, I killed all your friends. But I'm glad I had a sister like you. And then Izumi fell on the ground and started crying her heart out. She can't believe this is what is happening. That her brother actually forgave her. And so she started a new mission. To get every person that remained. To create a balanced society. And to help those men and women correlate and live together peacefully. So that a world where quirks may come once more. But this time, people will live forever, gracefully. The gag, guys, is the end to What If Deku Was a Villain. If you guys want to end the video here, you can. But the next thing I'll be talking about is the future of the channel. Now, if you want to end the video, this is Teen Shallot out of here. You can end the video here now, or you can stay and listen to the after show. The part where I talk about what's going to happen to this channel in the future. Amongst COVID-19 and everything. So, those of you who stayed here, welcome. This is Teen Shallot. And I would like to tell you that you may think that What If Deku Was a Villain was over. Yes, you may think that is true. It might have happened. But what you don't know is a story that nobody has ever known about Deku. You might be wondering, what do you mean? Well, you see, this is a parallel timeline. There's a version of Deku where he actually succeeded in killing every hero. Now I will reveal to you what happened in that timeline. I shall now reveal that timeline to you. And so we begin our story. It's been 2 weeks after Deku had just finished off at the sports festival. He was wondering what his next plan was going to be. He activated the ghosts. He killed every single hero with the ghosts. He was there everywhere. With this mission, because of Sacred Gear, he could teleport. So he was always there to witness and take out any hero that was in his way. which happened many, many times over. Deku had killed so many heroes that he felt a bit hollow. He only felt like a machine, but demonic overdrive kept him going. He didn't have much time left, but he knew that he was going to have to finish this job. This is what he worked so hard for, and he wasn't going to let anyone stop him from doing this. And so, Deku continues on, and then he says, everybody, it's time now to attack the USJ. To attack UA. We need to take out those false heroes and take out everybody who thinks they could stand in our way. Go. Recruit Stain. He is one of those people who believe in male supremacy. We need to recruit him and bring him here in forth so we can all go and attack UA. So someone was sent forth, the messenger. They brought the Nomus. They brought Shigaraki, Kurogiri, Dabi, everybody who was treated bad. They brought Toya as well. Toya. They brought every male that they could sponsor. And then came Deku versus Izumi. He was attacking the UA. Everything was going well. All lights were cut out. Everybody was being assassinated, picked off one by one. And then came Izumi. There's only 10% of the female population left of heroes inside Japan. And now those were going against Deku. They went and attacked his base. It did not work. Deku was out there slaughtering every single female hero he saw with a smile evident on his face. He went forward and he saw Izumi. She was a bit afraid, but no, she was not worried. She activated 100% of One For All, and she started beating on Deku. Deku was being destroyed faster and faster. His body was broken. Draconic Overdrive was trying to heal him as fast as it could, but his armor was breaking every single time he went for a swing. And that's when he was punched to the ground. Neck snapped. Arm broken off. Arm blown off, and on the ground. What looked like to be dead. Izumi got up, feeling no remorse for her actions. Her brother deserved this after what he did to all those aspiring heroes. So she just left him there on the cold, hard ground to die. And so Deku went in his mindscape and he saw Nova. And he said, Nova, must be dead, aren't I? Well, this feels better than death. I thought I'd be in hell, maybe heaven for my actions. And Nova said, you are not dead, fool. You just didn't use my power. You've been only using your demonic sacred gear. You should know by now that I am the strongest, one of the strongest sacred gears to ever exist. And yet you don't use my power. And you say you want to win. How does that work? You tell me. I don't know, Nova. I just don't know. Really? Then if you don't know, then tell me right now. Do you really want to show everybody why they were wrong to treat you bad? Because the way I'm seeing it, you're dying this easy. Now, the Deku I know would not die this easy. Now, I want you to tell me right now. Are you willing to die? Are you willing to die without showing anybody your message? About letting anybody know what you really mean? And then Deku said, no. Then stand up and face your enemy and yell from the depths of your heart. I am the legendary dragon, born from ashes, raised from the heavens himself. I have created thousands and destroyed thousands of worlds. I have broken everything that stood in my way. I am the legendary, indomitable dragon, the dragon of eternal domination. And so, he activated his juggernaut drive and then yelled out Draconic Overdrive. And then came Deku, stood up from the ground, covered in golden dragon scale. And then he said, it's up for you, Izumi. It's all over. You're about to face the wrath of hell in heaven itself. And so he stood up in this whole golden wing surrounding him. And he said, I will kill you with the power of Nova Shinran. And then he went up, and then he put up his clawed hand. And then Izumi activated 100% of One For All once more. But what you didn't realize was this was doing nothing to Deku. Deku was getting no damage on his body whatsoever. And she was wondering what happened. How did he gain such power in such a short time? He was just a weakling. How did he get this much power? And so she started attacking him again and again, beating on him, trying as hard as she could, but it was not working. Deku was an immovable object, an immortal object. Every scratch she put on his body was healed. Every piece of attack she put on him was healed. It was as if he was immortal himself. But what she didn't realize, there was more truth in those words than she could ever know. And so, Deku attacked her with everything he's got. And he got his sword, cut her arms everywhere. Then he said, I need to go faster. He said, Starburst, stream. And then he started beating on her even harder and harder, faster and faster, putting cuts all over her body, kneeing her in the face, saying, you don't deserve that disgusting power. Now die like the worm that you are. And so Deku dove down and he said, you worm. And he went forward and he started beating on her even harder through a gigantic, powerful attack. And he said, sons of hell. And then he threw a hellish sun that was as red as blood itself, crimson, bloodied as hell. And then he said, die. And then he threw the gigantic ball towards her. She put her hands on and started charging an attack and threw a gigantic air pressure wave. Nothing was happening. Then she put even more power. She went plus ultra, United States of Smash. And then she started pushing the hellish sun back. Deku let it go, went beside her and said, you really thought that would kill me? Shame. I actually thought I had a challenge. Deku got his sword and stabbed her right through the chest. Then he took it out and said, now go and look at everybody. Izumi saw every female hero being destroyed, killed by Deku and his men. They were all dying, being destroyed one by one. Izumi could not even look, but Deku forced her, picked up her face and said, look, this is all your fault. It's your fault I'm like this. Because if you had just believed in me, thinking I could be a hero, then things would not have turned out this way. So, I just want you to know that every female hero that died, that was your fault. And Izumi stood there, broken, bleeding from her chest. Her collapsed lung crushed her ribs. She was dying. She had only a minute left. So Deku just stood next to her and said, if only things were different, Izumi. Maybe we could have actually been proper brother and sister. But fate had other plans. But don't worry, Izumi. It won't be only this world that will die. No. There is also another world. I will go visit it. It's called the Deku as a hero. It was one where I became a hero, it seems. And that me being a hero brought every man back to humanity, to be treated nicely. And so I shall go there to this world, and I'll invade it, so that everybody can know the pain that I felt. Izumi knows she could not let this happen. No matter what, she could not let her brother go on another scourge to go destroy someone else's world, because he did not have peace in this one. And so she tried to do her best, and she got up with 30 seconds left in her life. She got up and she said, Deku, you will not live. And then she powered up immediately. She said, one for all, 100%, United States of Smash State. And then she went forward with so much power surrounding her. This shortened her time limit. She has 15 seconds to live. 15, 14, 13. She went for 12, 11. She went for a smash. 10, 9. And then Deku prepared her sword. 8, 7, 6. And then Deku went and tried to go for a stab. He stabbed her. And then she went and then 2, 1. And then she punched him so hard in the face that he broke his whole jawline and broke his skull. Was cracked all over. There was a fracture. His nose was broken in pieces. 0. Izumi died on her feet. Like a true hero, she died standing with the willpower to keep going. She was the embodiment of what a true hero was, trying to stop others from invading another Izuku's world. She may have been a bad sister, yes, but she did not want another person to befall the fate that her world has. Now everybody. Then Deku put her on the, and then he started instantly healed, and she saw she died. Then he heard every female hero died as well. And then he said, "Worked?" And then he started laughing. A very scary laugh. And then he decided, prepare the machine. It's time. We are about to fight in another world. It's time for others to learn what happens when they mess with the indomitable legend Izuku Midoriya. And that, guys, is the real ending to What If Deku Was a Villain. You might be wondering, what do you mean by real? That's what I mean by real. The other ending that I showed you before was an alternate timeline where Deku decided to become a hero in the end. But this is known as a timeline of What If Deku Was a Villain. And today I end the part of the Deku who laughed. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. This is Teen Shallot, out of here.